senior citizens' home. You know, people that are this close to death, and show them how to serve humanity as well. Why? Because these things make you into a decent human being. With the privileged kind of lifestyle we live, you know, the only thing we see, even if we see human tragedy, it's behind the screen. You know? So we don't really connect to it in a human kind of way. We can just change the channel. Right? But we don't connect with humanity in this way, which is making us less human, and our children certainly less human also. So that's the second part of our Sunday school revolution. Just connecting them to humanity at large. It's a very big problem. It's a very, very big problem. Here's the last thing I want to share with you about, you know, just the education of our children, inshallah ta'ala. I'm done. Is that our kids are living in times where Islam, there's no mystery, Islam is under attack. It's not a mystery. Islam is being humiliated and insulted on national television, on virtually every Christian channel there is on the radio and online, and attack websites and contradictions in the Quran and all kinds of insults against Allah's Messenger. They're not weirdo side websites, they have become mainstream. They have become mainstream, commonplace. And our children are being raised in a time where, you know, being called Muslim is very offensive. You Muslim, what'd you call me? You know, it's like a really bad thing. Because, you know, if somebody called the president a Muslim, he'll have to come out, which he did, on national television, and his secretary will have to come and say in the press release from the White House, no, the president goes to church every week. This happened about less than a month ago. Because you can't, what's so bad about being a Muslim? Like, you know, like Colin Powell said, okay, so he's not a Muslim, well, what if he was? But the idea is it's becoming a slur, it's becoming something dirty, it's becoming something un-American and beneath America to be Muslim, right? And our children are being raised in this society, where Islam is not associated with pride and strength, it's being associated with humiliation. One of the jobs of Islamic education is to raise our children in a way that they don't see izzah, they don't see dignity and pride and self-respect with anything else except Islam. Their dignity, their pride, you know, their sense of self, their joy, it comes from Islam. Their confidence comes from Islam. Everything, and they're so strong in this Islam, when they see anything other than Islam, they look at it and say, how pathetic. What great thing Allah has given us, and how poor these people that are lost in the darkness of shirk, that are lost in their kufr. Look at how sad these people are. Instead of wanting to be like them, our children should be raised in a way where we feel sorry for people who are in darkness. They live lives like animals live, you know? And Allah Azza wa Jalla tells us that. He tells us about them. You know, يَأْكُلُوا وَيَتَمَتَّعُوا كَمَا تَأْكُلُ الْأَنْعَامُ. Let them eat and enjoy like cattle eats and enjoys. Let them be like animals. In Surah Al-Rahman, you know one of the punishments of people who are being thrown in hell, you know what it is? They get grabbed from their head and their legs together. So you know, have you ever seen like slaughtered animals? They skin the animal and they tie the legs and the front of it together and they throw it into a fire, like they broil it like that? This is the way to grab animals when they're being openly barbecued. Ash-Shawkani rahimahullah said, people that go to hellfire are being treated like animals because they live like animals in this world. That's why Allah is treating them like animals in the next life. So when our kids see that, they should see that as, oh, pathetic. Allah created them human beings and they reduced their lifestyle to the lifestyle of animals. That's how the kind of pride and confidence our kids need to have in Islam. You don't get that from reading textbooks. You don't get that from that. So our last and most important need is to take, and I tell you, I swear to Allah, every community has them. We have young brothers and sisters that are passionate about Islam, that are confident, they're natural leaders, kids gravitate around them, they are popular, they're intelligent, they're well-spoken, they're very, very good at what they do. Allah has given them the gift of leadership, but all they're missing is a little bit of tarbiyah, a little bit of training, a little bit of guidance from the imam, from a program, things like that, so they can become actual youth leaders. But we have to stop importing them and imagine somebody's going to come and fix our situation. I am telling you, the heroes of this community are already in this audience. They're already here. We have to identify them and as a community come to them and say, look, you've got great potential. We're going to take your potential as far as we can and we'll take care of you. We'll sponsor you. We'll fulfill your needs. That's what every community in this country needs to do. Every single one of them. And unfortunately, the youth that are the most active in most masjids are the youth that nobody listens to. When they say, can we have a program for the youth? No, we don't do that. You know? Can we do this overnight? Can we do this basketball thing? Can we do a barbecue? Can we do this, do that? And the masjid will say, no, I don't think so. Because the masjid is not a place to enjoy yourself. Or smile, for that matter. So it's not. Right? And the masjid should look more like a retirement home than young people. Right? So it's a problem when young people start coming to the masjid. So we're actually becoming the obstacle to the growth of our own community. And I'm telling you, one young person standing up, and you'll see a change. You'll see amazing things. But we have to allow that to flourish. I think you guys have a youth group in this masjid. If you don't, make one, and make sure it's strong, and make sure it's supported. Because it's one of the most important services of any masjid, to have a youth group. To have people, and even if these kids are not learning tafsir, and they're not studying the seerah for a year, it's okay. Even if they're getting together at a restaurant at Meat Matters or something, and they're having cheeseburgers over there, which are pretty good, right? So even if they're doing that, it's okay, because you know what? At least they're not at a club now. At least they're not somewhere else. Now these kids are the first benefit, the first good thing to do is do no harm. They're not doing bad anymore. Okay? Which is why I'm so happy that your gym got built. This gym is going to be packed. Inshallah ta'ala, it's going to be packed all the time. So be ready for late nighters, especially on the weekends. And run some really awesome tournaments, inshallah. And those kids will come here and make salah, and listen to 5 minutes of a reminder, and go play some ball again, and make some really good friendships. You know, this is how we need to grow and flourish our communities. But I tell you, if things keep going the way they're going, we will be in a worse situation than we already are now. I went to Sunday school. I taught at a Sunday school where I know some of those kids, they're in gangs now. Some of them have been arrested for drug dealing. You know, that's my failure. That's our institutional failure. It's not just their failure. They're responsible for their behavior in the end, yes, but we could have done better. We could have done better. We could have given them a better company. We don't want that road to be taken by any of our children. We do not want that. So please take these thoughts into consideration, inshallah ta'ala. I hope that our masjid here is a pioneer in developing the kinds of things that can serve the needs of our young people better than any other masjid. So other masjids come to us and say, how you guys do it? We want to do what you guys do. I hope that we're that open-minded and that serious. And this is the last thing I say, I promise, inshallah, there is very few things unite the Muslim community. Very few things. Even the Eid prayer does not unite the Muslim community. You guys know that already. Right? The number of Taraweeh don't unite the Muslim community. Right? The school of thought doesn't unite the Muslim community. Even the language doesn't unite the Muslim community. But I say, other than the Book of Allah, the closest thing to that should unite the Muslim community is the equally shared concern for our next generation. That, I don't care what part of the world you come from, or you're from here, I don't care how old or young you are, we are all of us, young and old, should be concerned about the future of this ummah. That is something we share all together. And if that's what we share, our strategy as a community, our concern, our discussions, our research, our efforts, our funding, all of it should be directed in that one direction, which all of us are worried about. That has to do with all of us and our families. That's an easy road to unity. It's not even a complicated road to unity. It's an easy road to unity. So may Allah Azza wa Jalla unite us and give us blessings in our efforts and allow us to really revolutionize and improve the quality of education and the quality of tarbiyah, not just at the Sunday school, but at the youth program, at the Hifz program, at the Islamic schools, at the masajid, at the halaqat, and across all levels. May Allah make us the people who are not like Bani Israel. They're not like Bani Israel, which is why I recited this ayah in the beginning. I know I said I'll conclude this. I should conclude with the ayah. Allah Azza wa Jalla says, أَتَأْمُرُونَ النَّاسَ بِالْبِرِّ. You tell people to do good? You tell people to do good? وَتَنْسَوْنَ أَنفُسَكُمْ. You forget about yourselves? وَأَنْتُمْ تَتْلُونَ الْكِتَابَ. And it is you that read the book? You're reading the book. You're the knowledgeable of it. You tell people to do good things. You forget about yourselves? أَفَلَا تَعْقِلُونَ. Why don't you understand then? What is it that keeps you from understanding? May Allah make us people who understand, command people to good, but never forget themselves. بارك الله لي ولكم في القرآن الحكيم ونفعني وإياكم بالآيات والذكر الحكيم. السلام عليكم.